I put it in for 10, but it's been 8 minutes, and look at that. Woo, doggy. That is gorgeous. Okay guys, we're back in the Native Eats kitchen for gluten-free chicken and dumplings. So this recipe is like really killer because it's like grandma's chicken and dumplings. Everything you love about grandma's southern chicken and dumplings, but it's like souped up, modernized a little bit, all natural always, and gluten-free. But also I use some shortcuts to make it faster since, as you guys all know, I have 9 chitlins. So what I'm gonna do to make it faster is just this. Check this out. Get in your freezer and get out 4 cups of mixed vegetables, organic of course, okay? And then get some chicken. You know, I've used all different types of chicken for this recipe depending on what I had in the kitchen. So I've used pre-made, ready-to-eat chicken that's like in little packages that's not frozen. You can use that for this recipe. In this case, I didn't have any of that, but I had some frozen black pepper chicken. So this is black pepper chicken, so it has some seasonings to it, so I wanna be careful when I season the chicken and dumplings. But you can use any kind of grilled chicken in the freezer. Any chicken you really, really want to use in this recipe is fine. So I'm gonna chop up, everything can be frozen. That's what's so great about this. You don't really need to thaw anything. You know, I let the chicken sit out a little bit. You're gonna let it sit out a little bit. And this is still a little frozen, but I think I've got the muscles to do it, perhaps. So we're gonna just chop up this chicken and let me get my oil going. Get your pan, get a nice Dutch oven, something that you're gonna make your dumplings in such that can go in the oven. You can also use a nice pan. You know, I often use for your mama's best mashed potatoes. You've seen me use a nice baking pan. It's like a deep stainless steel pan that you can certainly use for this because we're going to top the dumpling soup with our biscuit mixture and golden brown it. So I like to use the Dutch oven. It's my favorite application, but you could certainly use something that can go in the oven for your dumplings. Get a nice, good oil, something that can get a high heat. Avocado oil is one of my favorites. And this is just so the butter doesn't burn. And you're gonna put about 2 tablespoons on the bottom. And by the way, this chicken is cooked. So now we've got 2 tablespoons of our oil in there, and we're gonna put in some butter. And the butter is really just gonna be for flavor. We're gonna put about 2 tablespoons of butter too. So 4 tablespoons of your oil going in and gonna get it hot. And now we're gonna come back over to this chicken and we're gonna finish chopping it so we can get it in this nice hot oil. If you don't like the workout, let it thaw longer. Today, we didn't have the time. Whatever size pieces you like, cut them down to that. Okay, so those look like pretty good sized pieces. And that's sizzling. That's a sizzle. So we're gonna get these in. Okay. And this is gonna brown a little bit. This is ready to add our thickener. And this is when we're going to make a roux. So get a 1/4 cup, sprinkle it around of your tapioca, and add a 1/4 cup of your taffy. Bless you. Thank you. I'm just gonna sort of stir it around with the wooden spoon. So we've let these flours. See how the bottom doesn't have a film? I'm gonna make sure that you don't let it get a film on the bottom if you can. And so now we're gonna take our rosemary and our thyme. We did a tablespoon of thyme and a teaspoon of rosemary. And we're just gonna take that in, sprinkle it in so it can get nice and blossomed in there. This is salt and pepper. So let's pretend like it's not. If it's not salt and pepper chicken, because most people don't have that, you're probably gonna wanna add in about 2 teaspoons of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. But since this is salt and pepper, I'm gonna probably just start off with about a teaspoon of salt and not add too much, and then taste it later. And about a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add the last 2 tablespoons of butter for flavor. So we're about to introduce our milk to this. We're gonna throw this in, this beautiful mixture here, our 4 cups of vegetables. These don't need to sear. Okay. So we're just gonna let that sit for a second. Grab your bouillon. We're doing 4 cups of milk, possibly 8. I think it is an 8-cup recipe. But anyway, so we're gonna do about 3 tablespoons of bouillon. And like I was telling you guys before, I will do a dairy-free version of this. Right off the bat, a dairy-free version, you do not have to use milk in this. In this particular recipe, you can use water. If you want to just use water or broth without the bouillon base, however, you know, whatever variation of liquid you want to get into this. But this is raw milk, as you know, that we use in the Native Eats kitchen. And we're going to start off with 4 cups. All right, this is ready to receive. And we're going to go kind of slow. All right, that looks good. Add a little more. I'm gonna crank the heat up just a little bit to about medium now. It was on about a medium low. I'm gonna add about half a cup at a time or so. Half a cup to a cup at a time. Okay, we are almost done with this. I'm gonna let that come to a little bit of a bubble. While that's coming to a little bit of a bubble, let's go and get a little bit of parsley. Let's do that. You can see the garden is looking a little bleak because we're going into winter, but I do still have some good parsley here. And that's probably good. We're gonna spare the plant today because it's not, you know, going into winter. Bubbling and ready to go to add some more milk. So we're gonna do that. Oh yeah, definitely hot. Ready to go. And then a half a cup. Gotta really play with the temperature. If you feel like it's getting too boily, don't let it do that. Don't let it get a film on the bottom. Okay, looking good. So now we're gonna just cut up our fresh parsley that we got from the garden. We're just gonna sort of julienne it. And this is such a good touch. Fresh parsley. That's good. That's beautiful. So we're gonna go half in and half on top. So half in and the other half on top. And we're ready to add the last little bit of milk. I do think though that we're gonna need to go for I think we need more. We might need 8 cups. Let's just be. And that's almost 6. Let's see. I'm just making sure that it doesn't get a film on the bottom. So we've got 4 cups in and we're gonna go the last 2 cups, which will make 6 cups for those chicken and dumplings. And I think we're gonna stop there. We're gonna go with 6 cups. We're gonna call it on that. And you know, you might could go 8 cups, but I'm gonna stop at 6, right there. Okay, and next, while this comes to a nice little simmer, we're gonna make the dumplings that we made earlier. All we're gonna do is roll out our gluten-free biscuits recipe. So you can find that in our recipes. You can watch that video, and we're just gonna roll this out. All right, so we have our gluten-free biscuit dough. All we're gonna do is take that beautiful dough that was in the refrigerator. You can have this frozen if you wish. It'll freeze for 6 months to a year. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna roll this out onto a floured surface with tapioca flour to make it gluten-free. And I'm gonna make little dumplings. And this is all whatever you feel like making, whatever shapes you like for your dumplings, you can do that. Okay. And this is really cold dough, straight from the refrigerator. I just get a little pizza cutter, and you can make them whatever shape you want. You can make, you can make them perfect little squares, but you're gonna throw them in like a bubbly bath. So they don't really need to be perfect. I would put a little more flour on them at this point. And then I'm just gonna sort of cut them like, you know, at an angle. And that's it. I just need little like diamond shaped sort of dumplings. And we're gonna kind of just take them and get the flour going in them. Sort of pick them up like this. And these we're going to drop in. We're gonna torpedo them in our little bath of chicken and dumplings. And it looks like our little bath is looking really, really ready to do so. And this will thicken with, if it's a little like loose for you, don't worry, it will thicken with your dumplings when they go in. All right. So now that it's nice and bubbly, I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit so that when I put these in, they sort of boil a little bit. So here we go. 1, 2. And so, you know, you want to get some of them deeper in to the bath because you're gonna have some on top that are gonna brown. Okay, and these can sort of go on the top. Because these are what's gonna brown. You don't have to let these sink too much on the ones on the top. Okay, and last, I'm just gonna take this little bit here. This beautiful parsley that we got from the garden. And turn your burner off. In this case, I'm gonna use the broil crisp setting because I have a crisper setting, which is, it's the same, I presume, as the broil setting, but I'm gonna put it on the crisper. You can put it on your crisp or your broil setting. Put it on broil, start, and then get your pan straight in the broiler, and you're gonna go for 10 minutes. Or 8 to 10 minutes, or until golden brown. So I'm gonna set the timer for 10 minutes. I'm gonna turn the light on so I can see, and I'll see you guys back when I pull this out. This gluten-free chicken and dumplings is gonna be golden and bubbly, and it's getting cold out. Yay! Okay, make sure you watch your broiler. I put it in for 10, but it's been 8 minutes, and look at that. Woo, doggy! That is gorgeous. I mean, like, whoo! Okay. But look at that.
So pretty.
Turn off your broiler because it's super hot. Get a ladle ready and a nice serving bowl. And this is really, really hot. I always like to put these here just to remind yourself how hot it is, so you do not come and put your hand on it while it's cooling, but let it cool for like 10 to 20 minutes because it's boiling hot. But look at this. Can you hear that? Come closer so you can hear that. Look. That's the sound of crispy. So good. I'll see you guys back to serve up a bowl in 20 minutes. All right, we're back for the gluten-free chicken and dumplings review. And this looks so good. We've all been sitting over here like, looking at that. And so I'm gonna serve it up and I'm gonna try to leave a nice topping. And this is gonna be the baby's bowl. Wow. That's the baby's bowl. And then we're gonna go in for an adult bowl. Just cut the size you want of your biscuit topping. Now that I have it broken open, I'm just gonna put a little of the soup on the bottom and cut another little piece. Those are gorgeous. All right, seriously, all of you little cute little teenagers that are camera shy, tell me what you think about the chicken and dumplings.
I don't know, bro. It's kind of like
the gluten free.
It's good. It's good.
They're so camera shy, but all we're really concerned about is whether or not you like the dumplings. Is it creamy or no creamy?
Yeah, it's very creamy.
Cousin It is here. Cousin It is in the house. And Cousin It is so beautiful and she loves chicken and dumplings. So, yeah.